Hi, this is Michaela Guzy, founder of Oh the People You Meet from Vancouver. To know this city is to appreciate the youthful dichotomy and confluence of natural abundance and cultural influences from across the globe. Literally, a city set within a rainforest, Vancouver's often rated the best place in the world to live.
You're right on the waterfront. You're right in what we call Cole Harbour, which is sort of where the city has moved to over the course of the last few years, because this is where all the restaurants, the bars, the best hotels are. Really convenient to pretty much everything.
How big is Vancouver?
We have a population of about 1.5 million, but in the downtown core, everything's sort of water and mountain divided. So the downtown core, you can sort of walk from pretty much from one end of Vancouver to the other end in probably 30 minutes, right? Going either way before you hit water and bridges, right? So it's a small and very livable city.
We joined Vancouver native Matthew Scott on a guided walk through the historic Gastown neighborhood. We checked out everything from the latest in Canadian fashion, from the popular Art Deco-inspired shoe designer John Fluvog to institutions like BC's Western Boot headquarters, in operation since 1933.
Kimber's is just a great little local art gallery. I really like it because they represent a lot of local artists, and they also take into account the history of the neighborhood and the history of Vancouver. A lot of kitschy stuff that you can see in the window, the waving Pope and the waving Queen, but just really fun. The one artist that I was going to point you out in the back is Ken Foster, and he's a local downtown East Side resident.
Okay.
He's got a lot of talent.
How did you find these artists? Just on the street?
They come to me. They came to me. Yeah, they're on the street. They're definitely on the street. They have a place to live. That government gives them a place to live. But then they want to make extra cash somehow, right?
And how do you split the proceeds with them? You buy them up front? And
I buy them up front, always up front, especially with Ken, right up front.
Okay.
So Ken, it looks like this one you found behind Cork and Finn?
Probably in the alley of Blood Alley,
Yeah.
right? Live lobsters. Yeah.
Have you always painted?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so it looks like you've moved from like more city scenes to what is...
Oh yeah, a lot of faces lately. Yeah. I've always done faces. I used to do faces and stuff a long time ago. I've sort of been. I do a lot of things. I'll every day I'll do a face, some sort of face, a woman's face, and I'll do probably an alley picture or something. And I try to do I do something different every day too. I still do a lot of work on graffiti stuff. I used to do a lot of graffiti. And I still, I have about maybe 5 different kinds of art that I kind of keep doing, evolving.
The people of Vancouver not only work to help sustainably support each other, but are also mindful of protecting the environment.
We are, Michaela, 100% sustainable. We use a hook to catch a salmon, for example. These beautiful prawns today we use in a trap. The spot prawn fishery in BC is one of the most sustainable fisheries in the world. As you saw, the trap comes on, you shake it on the table. If there happened to be a little fish here today, which there wasn't, you pick up the fish, you throw it back in the ocean, and it swims away. You're using a big net dragging the bottom of the ocean. That's all dead, most of it, right? So we've been around for about 10 years. We started in Vancouver. We're all across the country now. We're moving into the US, a little bit in Hong Kong. But one of our first true customers was the Fairmont Pacific Rim. They went ocean-wise about 5 years ago, 100% ocean-wise in the hotel, which was a big deal. It still is a big deal today. You don't see that very much around Canada.
No different, I guess, than farm to table that everybody's talking about. Steve and I are on the phone daily. I got this, do you need this, what do you want? Oh, I got this just off the boat today. I'm like, yeah. I still have to follow the systems, but I want our hotel and our restaurants to function like freestanding restaurants, so we have a little bit of personality.
People want the connection, right? I mean, chefs have wanted the connection for years, and now the public more and more wants that connection. Where does your food come from, right? Yeah. So he can honestly say, with a straight face at the restaurant, next prawn season, when these are coming through the door every day at 2 o'clock, 4 hours out of the ocean.
So you only work with suppliers who are certified.
That's right. And then the fish is the ocean wise. Very difficult to tell. It is ocean wise.
Yes.
Where does it come from?
He looks very different. He looks sunburned now.
Yeah. Okay.
And you can't have some of the world's freshest sushi without sake.
There are a few sake makers that would venture into something like this in Japan. But the sake world being very conservative, in Japan, which is, why people actually have a lot of mystique about it, which we like, of course. I decided that for a market which is outside of Japan, and that's where I'm making sake, we don't necessarily have to put ourselves in a very small confine of Japanese food and Japanese concept of how sake should be drunk.
Sake air-dried, delicious. So this is your co-creature.
That's correct.
Kanpai, arigatou gozaimasu. For more information, check out Oh, the People You Meet. This is Michaela Guzy from Vancouver. Hey YouTube, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to Michaela Guzy. Pack a bag and journey on.